All right guys, today we're going to talk about the instructions that come with an FTI torque converter, why you should follow these instructions, and how important pre-filling your torque converter really is. So let's dive into it. This video is brought to you by FTI Performance. They recently sponsored my truck Panda and sent me a triple disc lockup converter so we can make it to the Freedom Factory in Florida and do burnouts with Cletus. So huge thank you to FTI Performance. Super excited for this partnership, and we can't thank them enough for getting behind our program. First things first, there's not a set of paper instructions that come with the converter itself. You do have to find this on their website. I will put a direct link down in the description, but these are the instructions per the manufacturer. Now, I made a video a couple years back showing you guys how to pre-fill a converter on TikTok, and the controversy started. The comments section went wild saying you don't need to pre-fill a converter. You know, the pump does that for you. But guys, this is instructions per the manufacturer. And if you want to try to actually utilize a warranty if you have a failure, then it's probably a good idea to install it by their instructions. This is something we do on all of our torque converters. We don't ever put one in dry. Argue about it in the comments. I'm not gonna argue with you. This is how we do it, and we're gonna show you how we do it. So let's get into it. All right, so I printed out the instructions here from the FTI website. Like I said, I'm gonna link it down in the description. I'm gonna read over the top disclaimer part, and then I've got a couple points in the instructions I wanna touch base on, because this is a full instruction on how to remove your transmission, how to put your transmission back in after swapping the torque converter. Overlaid on the screen here so you can read along with me, the disclaimer says, included in the following documents are detailed instructions on how to install your new FTI torque converter. Remember, racing is dangerous, and a product such as this one is crucial to a properly functioning race car. Failure to properly install this product can lead to catastrophic failure. Please keep in mind that all vehicles are different. These instructions have been generalized to cover most applications. If you are unsure about any of the steps in these instruction sheets, please consult a professional immediately for assistance, or contact FTI's tech support line at 386-736-5816. Okay, like I said, from there it's gonna go into your pre-installation setup, which is like disconnect your battery, get your vehicle on jack stands. We're not gonna go over all that. That's kind of self-explanatory. But if we fast forward down the instructions down here to line number 10, it says, once you have confirmed the converter properly fits the engine, add a quart of new, and new is in all caps, transmission fluid to the new converter. Like I said, it's per FTI to pre-fill your torque converter. And then it also says on the back side down here in all red, under a section that says note in all red, it says any damage caused by improper transmission or torque converter installation is not covered under warranty and will be subject to additional charges to repair. Pre-fill your converter, guys. It's that simple. Now, another thing that's very crucial when installing a torque converter is making sure that it has the proper clearance in between the flex plate and the converter. Sometimes you need to shim them, sometimes you don't. It's important to measure that. We're gonna touch base on that in another video. We're gonna make this a two-part deal. So if you guys wanna see that, be looking for the link to that video in the description as well. And this isn't just an FTI thing. This is an aftermarket torque converter thing across the board. Circle D, BTE, PTC, all of them may require you to shim them. So that's something definitely look into. In that video, we will also talk about what happens if you do not properly shim your torque converter. Let's get this thing pre-filled. Now we are gonna run some of this new Deck 6 from our sponsor, O'Reilly Auto Parts. I'm gonna put some right here in a used jug though, just so y'all see that is beautiful new fluid, because we buy it in a bag. Probably like your wife buys her wine, probably that color too. And the instructions said add a quart. As we know from previous experience from doing just the converter swap in a vehicle, a converter is gonna hold anywhere from 3 to 4 quarts depending on the size of the converter. Being this is a 9.5-inch converter, I'm gonna assume it's gonna probably hold somewhere around the 3-quart range. We're gonna start by trying to at least shove a couple down its throat. That'll help us play it safe until the pump actually fills the converter. We are gonna add a little bit more than the instructions say, just because we know the converter is actually gonna hold more than that. Might make a little bit of a mess when we're sliding it in, but it is what it is. All right, so we're gonna take out our new triple disc 9.5-inch converter. Now this is not a off-the-shelf converter. This converter was spec'd for the truck. They built it for us last week and got it sent out. It did come with the crankshaft, hub spacer, and 3 new converter bolts. All right, so I know some folks have said you can stick a straw down in there and it helps get the air out. We tend to just let them bubble. We'll spin them a little bit. So let's kind of pre-fill this thing. See if we can get some fluid in there. It also seems like the faster a converter drinks the fluid, the looser that converter is going to be. And if it takes it a long time to drink, it tends to be a little bit of a tighter converter. I don't have any scientific proof behind that. That just kind of seems to be the way they pre-fill. We kind of noticed that pattern, I guess you could say. This one's drinking fast though, which is what we want. Now this partnership with FTI is new. We are direct dealers for them, so we sell a lot of their converters. I was not running an FTI converter in this truck before. I was actually running a PTC converter. And that converter decided to eat itself alive in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and force us to change the transmission in a Walmart parking lot. I then emailed PTC in hopes to maybe have the converter gone through. But I'll be honest, I run mostly FTI converters. I'm a direct dealer for FTI. I would much rather either buy an FTI converter or do a partnership like we did. And thankfully, FTI was interested in doing a partnership with us. So that worked out. And here we are with this new converter. We'll see if we can't get it to drink some more here. It's slow drinking now, but it's still drinking it. Sometimes you can tilt them up on their side like this. That'll help them drink. And sometimes you can gently spin them. This one's kind of walking and chattering though, so we're not gonna do that. We'll put a little bit more in it. Should have about 1.5 quarts in there right now. All right, so if you've never installed a torque converter into a transmission before, especially on the GM stuff, you're looking for 3 distinct clicks. The first one happens pretty quick. That's the easy one to miss. As soon as this thing finishes drinking this fluid, we're gonna show you guys how to slide this thing into the transmission. All right, so now we're gonna slide this thing in the transmission. Like I said, the first click is gonna be the one that's easy to miss. And then from there, we're gonna hold the hub on the back of the converter and turn the converter over. So there's our little bit of fluid we lost, not a big deal. I'm trying to hold this hub to keep it centered. And then we're gonna spin the converter, gently push pressure. So that'd be our second click, I think. Sometimes you gotta pull it back just a little bit, spin it. There it is. Now another way to tell is on the back of the instructions, they give you measurements for each transmission. So measuring from the face of the converter where the bolt holes are to the edge of the bell housing. On a 4060, it's 1.125, which is 1 1/8 inches. We got it in there all the way. Now we're gonna take us a rag and kind of clean up our mess out of the inside here. Give it a second, it's probably gonna run a little bit more down. Now we've got an FTI torque converter in our Smith transmissions, stage 4, 4L70. At the end of the day, we could sit here and debate about should you pre-fill your converter, why you should pre-fill your converter, what happens if you don't, what happens if you do. But at the end of the day, the product comes with a warranty and they have instructions on how to do it. Do it by their instructions. That's the point of this video. Follow instructions. That's the biggest point of it. We really hope you guys found this helpful. How to pre-fill a converter and install it into the transmission. Be on the lookout for a second video on how to shim the torque converter properly and what will happen if you don't do that, because that one is that's very, very crucial in my opinion. Make sure you look for us on TikTok and Facebook at 727 Motorsports. If you have any questions, you can hit our website down in the description. We have a contact us page. It'll send us an email. We'll get back to you as fast as we can. If you have any questions about a stall converter, stall speed, any specifications for your particular application, or you need to order a torque converter, send us a message and let us know. But that's gonna sum it up for this one. We appreciate you guys watching. Drop us a comment, let us know how you liked the video. And until next time, pre-fill your converter.